Hello everyone, my name is Daniel from the Faddom team, and today we're going to be having a look at the new Faddom JSM integration that we've been working on. This integration is a game changer for IT teams who live in Jira. As Faddom continuously discovers your entire hybrid infrastructure, that live discovery data now flows automatically into JSM on a configurable schedule, so your CMDB is always accurate without anyone having to maintain it manually. When something goes wrong, your team can see directly in JSM which server is involved, what applications depend on it, its risk score, and a direct link back to Fathom for a full dependency map. I feel that less context switching in critical situations is important when having to react instantly to production incidents, outages, or security threats. So the bottom line is that your Jira CMDB goes from a static, manually maintained spreadsheet to a living, automatically updated map of your real infrastructure. With all that being said, let's have a look at the integration flow. The first thing you're going to do is install the Fathom JSM integration app from the Atlassian Marketplace. Once you've done that, you should see this UI. Next, go into Assets, Schemas, and create schema. Let's create a blank schema, and you can call this whatever you'd like. I'm going to just call this Fathom right now and create schema. Next, we're going to go to schema settings, import, and create import. After you've installed our application, you should see the Fathom import type down here. So we're just going to select that and click next. And again, we can give it any name we want. I'm just going to call this one Fathom import, like that. Now we're going to have to wait about 20 to 30 seconds. And what's happening right now behind the scenes is Fathom is creating all of our object types for us. It is creating the mappings, the attributes of all of our server types and our application type. So that means you don't have to do anything. You do not have to configure anything manually. This just takes about 30 seconds. So let's wait for that. And didn't have to wait too long. Go back to the schema. And we can see our schema tree over here with all of our object types. Of course, they're not populated yet. We did not run a sync yet, but we will. We can see the unique and shared attributes that each object type holds. If it's AWS, if it's Nutanix, or manually added servers, we have that too. And applications. Perfect. Let's move forward. Go back to the Fathom UI, Settings, Integrations, and Jira Service Management. Now we're going to add a new integration over here. And to get our actual information that we're going to fill in, let's go back to our Atlassian app. Let's take the webhook URL over here. Let's go down to the bottom. Over here, you're actually going to see all of your configured schemas. Okay, so we have a bunch of pre-existing, but the latest one you've created would be at the bottom. So we're just going to take the import ID over here and put it down here. And the last thing would be the authentication token. Now, you can generate one over here, but please note, you're not going to see this one again. So I do recommend that you keep this somewhere safe. So let's just copy the token, go back to Fathom, and I'm just going to give the integration name again, really whatever you'd like. So Fathom Asset Sync. A description is optional, a workspace ID and schema name is also optional. I always think the more data the better for context, but right now we're just going to leave it as is. We're going to sync both of our asset types, the servers and the applications. So let's save and let's run our first manual sync. Now this also takes about 30 seconds. It really depends on the amount of assets that we're syncing. Let's give it time. Perfect, so that's done. We can also have a quick look at the sync history over here. The integration name, all of the entities, records, and we can also see that it's triggered manually. Now, We can also set a schedule, and this is actually what I do recommend that most users do. Set a schedule that will sync your CMDB, so you always have fresh data, and that's really up to you. Okay, so let's go back to our schema and refresh the page. We should see our assets populated. Okay, perfect. So if we go to objects again, here are all of our assets that have been imported. Okay, so we can go into each asset. These are applications. We have the application URL. We have all of the related servers to this application, and we have all of the tags that are related to this application. Let's look at the rest of our objects. We have VMware, all of the information, platform, OS name, properties, URL, so we can go directly to the properties of each server instantly, and tags that are related to the server, and so on. As you can add attachments, you can link work items to this server, and this is actually very useful because if you have any issues at all on a specific VM, on a specific server, you can link a work item to it and you can always know the status through the properties and in general what's going on with that server. So that's super useful. Another useful thing I think you could look into would be the Assets Data Manager. And with this tool, you can actually transfer objects from our schema to your existing schemas. That means you don't have to 100% rely on our schema, although it's going to be updated all the time. You can also create automatic jobs to transfer data from our schema to your own with your own custom mapping, with your own custom filters. It is very useful, and I think you can get a lot of value out of this. So we are going to post a link for this one on our support article and hopefully do a short video explaining how to use it a bit down the track. For any more information at all, you could read our full article on the support portal or contact our dedicated team at support@faddom.com. Thank you for your time and happy mapping.